Hey guys, what we're going to be making today is a vegetable lasagna. You can use whatever kind of vegetables you have or you like. These are the things that I just had in my fridge, so I wanted to go ahead and use them. I love these Italian seasoning blend. I actually add more dried basil. I have some sage that I had left over, so I'm going to throw that in there. I have some some organic kale, and some portobello mushrooms. Some cheese, Parmesan cheese, stewed tomatoes, some shredded mozzarella cheese. I have broccolini here, and I have zucchini also. Again, I get these at Fresh and Easy, on sale of course. I have half an onion, and I have 3 cloves of garlic. I have 3 medium-sized carrots, 4 celery sticks. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get started by just cutting up my mirepoix. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but for most Italian dishes that have sauces, they start off, tomato sauces, they start off with this marriage between the celery, the carrots, and the onions. Just this perfect blend, brings all of the earthy flavors, the sweet tones, and just brings it all together. So what I'm doing with my scraps is I'm actually kind of just putting it to the side. I want to use it for a veggie stock, and I want to try to cut these up to be about the same size. I want them to cook evenly and break down evenly, so I'm actually going to try to cut them all as a small dice. And once I'm done with that, then I'm actually going to get started on cutting up the vegetables for the actual lasagna. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually washed all these vegetables. I'm going to tear the kale off of the stalk. The stalk is really bitter, and I think a lot of people have that taste. When they think of kale, it's bitter, and it really is the stalk. If you tried the kale leaf without the stalk, it's not so bitter at all. So once I'm done doing that, I'm actually going to take my broccoli rabe. Again, I'm just going to trim the ends and save those. But what I'm actually going to do with these is I'm actually going to cut them on the bias. So they're going to kind of be sliced on the side so that they're still thin, but I'm not having to just slice them by cutting them in half and stuff. So it's a little bit sliced, and like you can see it's like on an angle. And I use the knife to cut really thin zucchini pastas, but you could use a potato peeler as well if you're not very good with a knife. So I just want to add my base, my mirepoix, to some heated olive oil. And I'm just going to let this cook down until everything is, semi-soft. You can add salt and pepper now to it. Also, the salt will help the onions break down as well. And once that's broken down, then I want to add my turkey meat. I'm just going to break up the turkey meat, and Eva's making a bunch of noise over here. She's my little helper and being so good while Mom's cooking. So when it's almost done, not quite, that's when I add all my seasonings. I'm adding the garlic that I've already chopped up, minced. Again, you can use a garlic press too, that's a lot easier. I'm adding the basil and the Italian seasoning along with salt and pepper. This is all to your preference. If you guys have oregano and you'd rather use that, feel free to do that. Doesn't have to be exactly. I know that my mom likes to use herb de Provence, but we don't have any, so this is the route that I'm going. So once the meat is all done, you want to add your stewed tomatoes. What I normally do with the stewed tomatoes is I use my hands and I just kind of smash them, but for sanitary purposes, I will use my spoon to kind of break them down a little bit. And you definitely want to use the juice too, because Turkey meat is really dry, so adding any kind of moisture to it will help out to keep it moist. I want to go ahead and add my sauce. I love this sauce from Trader Joe's. You can make your own, but that would have taken way too long for me, so I just get the 3-cheese marinara sauce from Trader Joe's. It's so good. So I just want to saute this on a low heat, just because I just want all the flavors to blend. And I want to start cooking off my portobello. I added some stock that I have to the mushrooms, just so that it can be a little bit more of a steaming reaction that I'm having with the broccoli rabe and the kale. You want to try to season each layer, just because you don't get a chance to season once you put it all together. And the heat and the salt will help it break down as well. So these are the things that you're going to need to assemble your lasagna. I actually have these lasagna noodles that they're actually no-boil noodles, which is a lot easier. I have all my cheeses, I have my vegetables on hand. I actually chopped up some sun-dried tomatoes too, I forgot I had. So the first thing that we want to do is we actually want to put a thin layer on the bottom of your baking pan. I actually am using a lasagna pan, but I like to always put some foil because it's way easier to clean than to have to scrub off all the baked cheese that gets stuck. So once that happens, then you just kind of want to add some veggie broth, because it actually helps to steam up the noodles. Your layers don't have to be pretty or perfect or whatever, mine never are. So I'm just going to add each vegetable at a time. I added my kale and my mushrooms, some cheese, some zucchini, some more cheese. I like to use 2 different types of cheeses just because I like the different saltiness and textures of it. I'm adding some sun-dried tomatoes, again another layer of sauce before I do my layer of lasagna noodles, just because I need the moisture from the sauce to cook the noodles. And then I'm just going to put the rest of the sauce on top. Topping it with whatever you guys have, again, totally up to you. This is just how I'm doing it. I like to do the meat sauce just because you get more protein. Ava likes it, Dominic likes it, we're all happy. So I'm adding some more veggie stock on top just to kind of help it again to cook up a little bit. And then I'm going to cover it. I like to cover mine just because I feel like it helps steam out all of the lasagna noodles. And then the last 15 minutes, what I do is I take off the foil off the top, and then I just let all the cheese melt on top. And I cooked it for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on your stove. I had it at 375. And this is my little piece lasagna. It's not so little, but you don't have to feel as guilty because there's not as much pasta, and there's so much more veggies in here than normal lasagna. So of course we have our little taste tester over here that we're going to try to see if she likes it. I like to give her a little piece because she's starting to grab things with her hands now, and big messes are not fun after cleaning a kitchen. So okay guys, I'm so happy you guys watched this video. Please leave any comments below if you guys have any, experience or anything that you add into your lasagna. I would love to hear it. And I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Alright guys, thanks for watching.